How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is the 13th live stream here on Carpathian Countryside. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I want to get right to it, right to business here. I see that there's several messages here in chat, and I want to read through them real quick. First off, Rail Fanning Jonah, thank you so much for reaching out earlier. Says, I love this channel. Jonah, thank you so much. And leads me to a very special surprise. So I'll read the rest of these in just a moment. I want to introduce a special guest here tonight. The one, the only, Rail Fanning Jonah. Jonah, how are you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, BBD. Fantastic.
That's excellent. Excellent to hear that. Yes, so we are doing another special guest live stream series for our Tier 3 members. Thank you so very much for joining us here tonight there, Jonah. I also want to say a very special thank you for being the first Tier 3 member that this channel had. So thank you for that very much. I greatly appreciate it. Now, before we get going, do you want to give yourself any kind of shout outs or shout out any channels or anything that you have going on there?
Yeah, I'll shout out my YouTube channel, Rail Fanning Jonah. It's a channel based around trains. You know, anything about trains, it's on that channel. So if you like trains, go check it out. And Facebook and Messenger, Jonah Elliott, if you want to talk to me.
Excellent. Sounds fantastic. Yes, so if you are interested in trains, go ahead and check him out there over at Rail Fanning Jonah there on YouTube. I've seen a few of his videos, and yeah, it's pretty intense. Like, I've never been a huge enthusiast of trains, but I could absolutely see based on these videos just how people could really be into them. And let me restate that. I'm a big fan of engineering, any kind of like mechanics and things like that. So that's why I have such a great appreciation for like tractors and harvesters and combines, all these different like things. Trains are just a logical extension of that. So yeah, that just seems very interesting to me. But yes, go check out Rail Fanning Jonah. Got some good stuff there. So we are going to read through these chats here real quick because I see that there's something very special a few lines down. Starting with Ken Adlam. How you doing, Ken? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Says, hey, Jonah, I totally agree with you there. Thank you so much, Ken. I greatly appreciate it. And I also appreciate you being the newest Tier 3 member here to the channel. Thank you so very much. Upgraded membership to BDD's Farmhand Tier 3. Ken, thank you so very much. Will T Gaming says, yo, what up, everyone? What up, Will? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Let's see. Ken says, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share or even tier up a level. Hey, that sounds like a plan to me. And you were going to say something there, Jonah?
I said just saying, yeah. What up, Will?
Let's see. Ken says, hey, Will. And Will says, Jonah! I love it. Will then says, Ken and Jody. Hey, how's it going, bud? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. So yeah, we have a special guest here. Like I mentioned, we have Rail Fanning Jonah with us here tonight. So Jonah, tell me, what about Farming Simulator where is the magic for you? What is it that really captures you when it comes to this game?
Like, when I started, playing it, back in December, just I've gotten into it more recently, but the fact that you can play it realistically, or you can do, use the mods and do it unrealistically, you can play it whatever style of farming you want, whether it's the fast and easy or the slow and steady style, so it's just the vast amounts of ways you can farm on this game. It's just amazing to me.
Oh, 100%. It's funny because I was actually had somebody comment on one of my videos. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and they were telling me that they were playing on the little campaign map. It's the small French map that had an update here recently, and they were telling me how they play ultra realistic, like super realistic. And me personally, my brain breaks if I play too realistic. It's just one of those, like, I I guess out of habit, just eventually start reverting back to my natural playing style.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those. He's describing all these things, and his question basically revolved around because part of the update that Little Campaign had was it added a milk trigger to the cow pasture that's out behind the farm, and his question was basically, where do I get my milk? Because there's no clear indicator with the disc. So I basically loaded up the game. I downloaded onto my machine, and I'm sitting there looking around, and it's like, okay, well, this is a very logical question. I don't know where it'd be. So I literally went through, simulated in time, and actually found it. I stumbled across it because I just unloaded what little water I had gathered to be able to try and produce some milk. And it was literally hiding. Oh dear, there's a train. Well, there. You know what? It's because Jonah's on stream tonight.
Oh. Oh my lord, that is perfect timing. I've got the train coming in real life too.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, yeah, so for those who don't know, Jonah actually lives right next to the train line, so you might actually hear a little bit of train noise going on in the background there. So he's what'd you say was like 50 feet or something like that from the train
50
line?
or 60 feet away. Like, I live close enough I can throw a rock and hit the train.
Well, let's not do that, because I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
No, I just use it as a reference point. It's like, it's pretty close.
Yeah, no, that's really, really close. Like, it's one of those, like, how do you sleep when it goes by at night?
Like, the first couple of nights it was hard, but like say I've already like trained enough, so it wasn't the falling. Like say I got used to them pretty easy. It was I always wanted to get up and go look at the train, so it was just being able having to ignore the train in order for me not to go look at it. But sleeping wise, I don't even notice it anymore.
Oh man, I've heard of people living next to trains or living next to loud situations where eventually they just become not blinded to it, just it doesn't bother them. It's no longer on their radar, kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And that to me, like, I've heard it, I just couldn't imagine. I guess I've never had to be in that kind of situation.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it does get a little old. Like, say when you're trying to watch a movie and a train goes by, and it's like, man, you trying to turn the TV up to hear what they said. But I love it. Me liking trains, living this close to it, so it's lifelong dream.
So is there any kind in particular that you're like more of a fan of seeing? Do you prefer like the new age kind of train, or do you prefer like old like locomotives?
Like, I'm a mix of both. Like, say, I like the new style and I like the old style. Steam engines are still nice to see, but seeing what modern diesels can do nowadays is everything just fascinates me no matter what. I just love trains no matter what they are.
Well, and that's it. Like I was saying, it's the engineering behind them, the amount of pulling power that trains have in comparison to the size of which their actual engine is
Yeah.
just an incredible feat. They can tow just tons upon tons of equipment, of food, of grain, of whatever they're towing around. I mean, they could be towing so much in the weight compared to what they're actually able to, like, what their engine would house. It's insane.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just one of those it's like I said earlier, it's just kind of a marvel, seeing how engineering, especially how trains have evolved, just like every kind of technology. I pointed to this, I think, in the last stream, how things have evolved. Trains are no different. You get these slow, steady increases in technology and all this stuff to where now we're into the modern age, and trains now are nothing compared to what they used to be back when they were first around.
I mean, yeah, but like I remember the first train, it could barely do 6 miles an hour. Now, like, you got trains that are doing 150 miles an hour on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, and you get those what are they? The bullet trains, you know, like overseas, over in Europe and whatnot, and those things go just flying past the countryside. You can get from
500 kilometers for them. Like that's insanely fast.
yeah, yeah, that's incredibly fast. One of those that you know, hope nothing gets in the way.
But don't blink or you'll miss it.
Yep, that's it. That's it exactly. But oh, and let me catch up with the chat here because I'm seeing that a bunch of people are moving along here. So let me go ahead. Let's see. Will says, "Imagine you, me, and Jonah on stream. LOL." Oh, trust me, Will. Trust me, we will set that up one of these days. Jody says, "I have had a rough night." Aw, Jody, I'm sorry to hear that, bud. Real sorry to hear that. Hopefully, Jonah and I can make it a little bit better for you. We'll be able to, you know, liven up the night here. Let's see. Will says, "Jody!" I tell you what, that's the one thing I absolutely love about doing this channel is just seeing the energy that people bring to the channel. Like yourself, Jonah, like Will, like Jody, just everything that everybody has to offer, you know, when we do these live streams is just so invigorating. I absolutely love it.
Me too. Me too.
You know, and I've said this many, many times. I'll say it once more here tonight. But it was the absolute last thing that I was expecting when starting this channel was creating this kind of community, this sense of almost belonging for anybody who wants it to just come along and hang out and have fun. Ooh, I just saw something. Oh, and not hitting the brakes. There's something hiding in here.
Whoa.
Nice. Wait. Oh, I thought I saw another one on the other side. What's funny is I've been in this exact field several times now, and that's the first time I've seen that seen that toy, that bright blue, almost neon blue toy, and I'm kind of ashamed that it took me that long to notice it.
I'm still finding many on my Texas map, my big Texas flats. I'm still finding the collectibles everywhere.
Yeah, so that's the one big one that you got going on, or?
Yeah, the big one that I try my best to be realistic on, but sometimes it doesn't work out.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I hear you there. Like I said, there's been a few of these series that I've done, the Let's Play series, where I've tried my best to play. I would say more towards a realistic, maybe not 100% by the book realistic, but more realistic than what I'm comfortable with doing. And oh man, it was so hard. It was such a slog for me to just kind of muster up that kind of realism, and then sitting there thinking, it's like, okay, how would I have to do this in real life in order for it to translate properly into the game, even if the game doesn't necessarily allow you to do it in real life? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just one of those, like, you really have to put in the thought, like, especially because you're not you don't have like the actual machine in front of you. You don't have a lever for to raise and lower your pallet forks. You don't have all those like external factors. Like me, I'm playing on console, so I'm just kind of doing my thing with a controller, kind of thing. So it's getting your brain to think an entirely different way. It's it's tough sometimes.
Hmm.
But let's see. Let's keep on going with these chats here. So where was I? Let's see. Will says, going to be an awesome stream. I agree, bud. Absolutely. And then Will also says, Jonah and BDD, what did you think about the new mods and updates? So there were several mods and updates that came out the other day. That one of them really caught my eye was the Teagle Tomahawk, the straw blower, because it will not only hook up to a 3-point link, it looks like it also hook up to a front loader. It'll hook up to a telehandler, all sorts of different stuff. And what specifically caught my eye was that hooking up to the front 3-point link. That really just kind of caught my eye. I don't know why in particular, but I don't know. What about you, Jonah? Is there anything that's been released here recently that you have been kind of chomping at the bit over?
Yeah, well, unfortunately for me, I've been like more busy over the past couple of days, so I haven't been able to really pay attention to the mod hub that much. But I do use mods like say the Colossus Harvest Pack and stuff like that. I do use some of the mods, but most of the mods on there I love a majority of them. Because you got to use mods sometime to play the game if you want to be realistic.
Oh, absolutely. And are you on console or are you on PC Mac?
I'm on PC.
Okay.
So I can use the big 4X maps and stuff like that, which are a handful when you want to harvest them and stuff. They're bigger than just your standard map.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. And then on top of it, you're playing a more realistic gaming style, which means you're going to be slowed down. You're going to be like you're naturally going to be driven to a slower pace. So having a bigger map, a bigger kind of atmosphere to work with, and you're kind of, you know, for unfortunately for back of a letter word, wow, lack of a better word, I don't know what happened right there. I had a small case of dyslexia or something. Anyways, you're basically handicapping yourself, like I said, for lack of a better word, in making it to where you can't be as efficient as you could theoretically be. So it's one of those, like a good example is Will T Gaming. He plays on 30-day months kind of thing. So that right there, you're just going through so many days in order to kind of make the gentle progress that you make. It gets to be a lot.
It does. It really does.
Let's see. What was next? We had Will says, "Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and share the stream." Thank you so much, Will. Greatly appreciate that. Jody says, "How is everybody's day?" Jody, I am having a fantastic day so far. Fantastic night. Every time I get to come on and do a live stream, it makes it a good day. How about you, Jonah?
Any day you're streaming is a really good day to me.
I appreciate that, Jonah. I really do. And like I said, thank you so very much. I want to tell you firsthand that I really do appreciate when you reach out, when you're one of the first ones out there and going ahead and leaving the comments and stuff. I really enjoy the dad jokes. I mean that sincerely. All the dad jokes that you throw into the comments and stuff, I get a good chuckle out of. There's been several that I've taken back to my wife and said, hey, told the joke, and she just gets a good kick out of it.
Yeah, and I may have a few up my sleeve tonight, maybe.
You know what? I won't dissuade you. Let's see. Ken says, "BDD, your audio sounds really clear today." So there's a funny story behind that. So I've had some family staying with me here lately. Part of the reason why I've only been streaming until about midnight here lately. And the reason that I sound probably either a little bit clearer or a little bit different than I normally do is because before I had just a kind of breath screen that was in front of my microphone, and it was very how do I want to put it? It's very kind of directional. If I was speaking over the mic or if I was under the mic, it could pick up my wind from my breath and whatnot. So it was just one of those kind of not the most optimal of setups I could have had. But because I've had them staying here and they'll either sit next to me when I'm recording or whatever the case may be, I have a fan above my head, and normally the fan's blowing up, so it kind of distributes the air around the room. But it gets really hot in here and gets really uncomfortable. So instead of trying to make them uncomfortable, I went out and bought myself a new windsock setup. And it, I think, works out very well. It blocks out the vast majority of the wind from any direction, and I think it does improve the quality. I've noticed it in the recordings quite a bit. Let's see. Will says, "My day is okay. Jody, you." Jody says, "Listen, you guys made me laugh." Hey, that's the goal. If we can turn things around and have everybody have a good day, then that's what we're going to be aiming for. Isn't that right, Jonah?
That is so right. So true.
Let's see. Jody says, "Not my depression. I'm sorry about that, bud. Like I said, we're gonna try our best to turn it around for you." Jody also says, "I'll play the game to have fun." Hey, you know what? That'll help. That'll absolutely help. Uh, Will says Silabuki sent Alma, Missouri update to Giants. I know. Oh my goodness, that one is going to be an absolutely massive, massive update video that I'm going to have to make, and I am really looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to seeing the build that you got in store, bud. I keep saying it. When you do that build, I can't wait to see it. And now I've got 3 dogs just encasing me right now. I've got,
The stream too.
yeah, I've got one at my feet. I've got 2 on my side here, and the one of them's just about I don't know. She's less than a year old, so she doesn't quite understand that, hey, I need you to give me some space. So, but they're great dogs. They are really good dogs. Let's see. Ken says, I just started playing on Cavalier Roy's map, Riverside. Oh, Ken, that's a really good map, bud. I think you're going to really like that one. Will says, chaffing is all done. Holy smokes. That took you several days there, Will. Holy smokes. Benji says, good
How
evening.
do you do it, Will?
Oh, man. There's a reason why he has to play on 30-day months. Doing all that work.
He owns the whole map.
He owns the whole map. His farm is completely custom built. He's got elements on there like the rock wall that has taken him literal hours, if not days, to just build out, let alone to kind of conceptualize. Like, it's just absolutely a bonkers build, and it's still to this day. To this day, I've talked to Will several times. He's told me how he's going to blow out his entire save game once this new Alma update comes out. He's just going to completely abandon it, and it's just like, it hurts my soul to hear that. Oh my goodness. But let's see. So we're almost done with this field here. So Jonah, what kind of build do you have going on there on Big Flats? You got like arables? You do any kind of forestry? Like, what kind of gaming style besides the realistic? What kind of things do you like to do?
Like, well, mainly I just I just do the harvest stuff. Like, say I'm still like grasping, to try to figure out stuff. Like, say I only got into farming, like, say in December, so I'm still learning the ropes of all the good stuff you can do. I mean, I've done a little bit of tree chopping and stuff, but mainly just harvesting corn, wheat, and baling, sending it, to the dealer and stuff, and hopefully someday get a place to put some animals somewhere.
Oh, you know what? We all got to start somewhere. I mean, I've mentioned it numerous times. I started back in FS19. So it's one of those, like, I'm still learning things. I'm still picking up stuff. And the fact that Giants has really gone out of their way to really make each iteration so far from 19 to 22, and now what it's appearing to be from 22 to 25, the kind of huge, massive updates and upgrades that they are doing between each round is just makes the game just that much more difficult to learn. And then if you add elements like precision farming or the straw harvest pack or any of those kind of things down the stream, it adds that next level deeper of things that you have to learn and have to pick up on. Let's see, I think it's this way. 22, okay. But do you play with any of the DLCs or any of the like precision farming?
I
anything
used
like
a
that?
few of them. Like, the straw harvest pack is one of my preferred favorites, because for once I can actually see how many bales I'm producing off each field, so I can get a rough estimate on how many bales are gonna be off this field or that field compared, to the others. And I've tried precision farming. I'm no good at it. I'm like, well, I just want to fertilize my field and be done with it.
Oh, I hear you there. It's that one there is probably the biggest game-changing element that I play with is the precision farming, and the reason that I tend to use it is that it actually makes a lot of the equipment actually quote unquote necessary to use. So what I refer to with that is specifically like slurry tankers and fertilizers.
Another train.
Oh, another train coming through.
Yep. Every time you hit the railroad crossing, you trigger a train in real life.
Oh man. So it's one of those I'm gonna have to like go back over and just keep running back and forth, back and forth.
That's what happened both times. You went over the crossing and a train showed up.
That's crazy.
What are the odds?
Oh man. You know what? Now I'm kind of half tempted to run back just to keep going back and forth and see if we get like a like a slew of trains just go passing by your place.
I mean, there's only one track, so don't do it too much because you may cause them all to derail.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, no. We don't, no calamities, no big old crashes right next to Jonah's house. That's bad. That's bad. We're not going to do that. I take back everything I said. I'm not even going to put that one out in the ether. Oh.
It's just a coincidence, I think.
You know what? Here's hoping. I mean, there might be some, somebody out there who's watching the stream right now. They can't respond or anything like that because they're driving the train, but they're just backing up really slowly so you don't notice them. And then once I go over the train tracks, they're like, "Oh, all right, book it."
Oh man. Oh, that's funny.
Benji, how's it going, Benji? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Oh wait, I read that already. Will says, "Oh, hey, I got to turn. Got to turn." One of those I should know by now not to read and try and drive at the same time. You would think I would learn by now, but you know what? At least I don't do that in real life.
We don't want you being an actual idiot like the AI are.
Oh man, ugh. I tell you what, that I really am hopeful, really hopeful that all the updates and upgrades that we've been hearing about here on FS25 really improves the AI. I'm really gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope upon hope that we actually get workers that are going to do what it is that we expect them to do.
I mean, can they go around that random power pole in the middle of your field, without freaking out? Like, I don't know what to do here.
Well, see, that's what makes me wonder is that if with that GPS, if that's going to be a possibility, it might be to where it just doesn't recognize it and there's going to be limitations. And I can understand that. There's going to be, obviously things that, they're going to be able to handle, other things they won't be able to handle. That's fine. But the kind of things that we've grown to expect the AI to do in FS19 or in FS22, it's one of those. I hope it's not to that level. I really hope that they spent some time really digging into how the AI works and how it's supposed to interact. And the one thing that I really, really hope when it comes to 25 is, are they going to do a better job when it comes to things like stone picking, when it comes to like all those various elements that were kind of new in this game that are still to this day, in my opinion, kind of broken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a reason why I don't have, like, stone zone in my fields because, like, there's not a big enough thing that's realistic, and the AIs they just like they don't know what to do. It's like my fields are too big for me to do it all by myself, and I need AI work. I'm like, well, I can't leave them unsupervised because they're going to end up on another field every time.
Oh, and especially on Big Flats, Texas, that has some huge, massive fields on it. So it's one of those like stone picking is the one I pick on the most because it is, in my opinion, the most broken AI that that exists on FS22. It doesn't recognize that you're actually doing anything per se. It only recognizes that there's a field and that it needs to go through the entirety of the field in order to go there. And heaven forbid that you actually have to stop the AI worker halfway in the field. If you have to stop them halfway in the field, good luck getting them to go in the right direction that they need to go in order to just keep on progressing and getting all the stones off the field. So that's the one that just absolutely infuriates me sometimes. When I have a big field, I know I'm going to have to dump out and do stuff. That's honestly part of the reason why I go with Mac Trucker's Stone Picker so much. Because I often, very often, have to use like these mods here. You know, the Stone Picker trailer, just because of the incredibly large storage capacity. I don't have to worry about it, and I can get it done relatively quickly. Dirty little secret there. But
I that's one of my more preferred mods when it comes to stuff. You know, those the big trailers and stuff that can hold big capacities and stuff like. It's more easier just to store more stuff instead of like, well, being realistic and storing like 5% of what's on the field and having to keep going back. It's like I just want to get it all done in one go.
yeah, oh yeah, and that's it, and that's what makes the Colossus harvesters, the like especially like the root beet harvesters, um, root beet the root crop harvesters, specifically this one. This one is my favorite, the Homer Pterodos. It's a little bit clunky because you have different components you have to connect to it, but this Homer Pterodos, I just absolutely love it. The 5 million liters of storage capacity. It's got the 100-meter working widths. I mean, yeah, it's unrealistic. It's all these kind of ins and outs kind of thing, but it just saves so much time.
It's basically it's really useful for like those people who like they don't know how to really do. It's like, oh well, let's get this big wide thing and they can get their field done, because if they're say if they don't really know the harvest and stuff, like say, oh, they may accidentally their stuff may be getting close to withering and they just need it done real fast.
Yeah. Oh, and that's it exactly. I mean, being able to getting things in and done, on the wire kind of thing. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've actually had harvest wither because I've just been so busy doing so many other things that all of a sudden just bam, it just the day goes out from under me, and then I lose it. I just lose the crop, and you put in all that time, all that energy, all that effort into having this crop, then all of a sudden just boop, gone. And there's nothing worse than having that kind of
Yeah.
fall out from underneath you.
Yeah, I mean, like say the first time I played, like I couldn't figure out how to get the weeds out of the field. I couldn't I'm like, there was so much stuff to the game. I'm like, because I kept seeing like people on like you. I'm like, how do their fields look so good? I'm like, well, they're doing all this additional stuff to it. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Well, and that's the great thing about this game is that we all have to start somewhere, but at the end of the day, all this is procedure. You just need to learn what the procedure is, and once you learn that procedure, you're just like boom, 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 and you're done. And it turns out great. You get the maximum yield or the maximum harvest capability, and you're good to go.
Like, I remember the first time I got 100%. I'm like, yippee! I'm like, but it was like on the like starter map. I'm like, the default map was just like those small little fields. I'm like, just practice with those and work your way around.
But that's exactly it, though. Is that's how you learn. You know, and especially with those small fields, the squared off ones, um, like because I played the game over these past several years, I've fallen out of love with those kind of introductory maps, the kind of giant standard maps kind of thing. But it's one of those where I still have an appreciation for them because I know there's going to be people who are brand new to the series, brand new to the game, kind of thing, and they're going to need to kind of have that environment to be able to really kind of work themselves up and get themselves up to a level where they're comfortable being able to play the game. You know, and it's one of those like going through all these kind of help menu things like this page here. It's nice to have, but it's one of those that's a lot of reading. That's a lot of like information to take in, to absorb, and a lot of people just are not really like text savvy. What I mean by that is there's a lot of people out there who learn better by seeing and doing rather than just reading in theory. Yeah.
I'm a watcher. Like, say, I'm not a like very good reader. So I'm like, if I had to read to figure out, like, I would have just given up on the game like months ago.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I can sit there and watch somebody do something and then I'm able to repeat exactly what it is that I saw them do. But if I have to read something and then put it into practice, I am absolutely terrible at it. It's just one of those that I just can't get the information necessary by reading it. I have to see it. I have to experience it. And very oftentimes I actually have to hold it. I have to see, you know, the actual way that what if I'm working on something, like if I'm working on an engine or something, I have to see how it's assembled, and then I can kind of recreate it in my mind. You know, but if it's like I've said on the channel numerous times, I can't make a lot of things off the top of my head. I'm not an artist. I can't draw. I can't do anything like that. You know, that's why I know I couldn't be a modder. I couldn't be a map maker. But that's also why I tend to give people a lot of grace when I kind of give my reviews on map tours and stuff. I'll sit there and be like, look, you know, I might not like this map for X, Y, and Z reasons, but I'm appreciative that people are out there because one, I can't do this. And two, it's one of those that I'm not the arbiter of all things that are good. So one of those where somebody who may like or somebody who will see my map tour and be like, oh well, you know, he says it's bad but I think it's really good, kind of thing. You know, so there's going to be people out there that disagree with what it is I have to say about things. So I always try and leave that in for people to have as kind of uh, room for understanding, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yep, totally get you.
So let's catch back up with the chat. We've got Will says, I might have a blood clot in my leg. Holy smokes, Will. Says,
No, that's not good.
I have to get an ultrasound done on my leg. Will, holy smokes, bud. Go get that done. Take care of yourself there, bud. Don't want to hear about something bad happening to you. You know, heaven forbid that, you know, you do have a clot or something like that and that it, you know, travels anywhere. Yeah, go take care of yourself there, bud. Let's see. Ken says, Jonah, do you use an extended machine repair mod or in your gameplay?
I just use like say the base game repair stuff. Like say, I don't like say, just let the machine like say, no like extra like give it extra life. I just do the default whatever it gives me. You know, just fix it when it needs to be fixed. No extending its life. You know, making it where it's like, oh well, this thing runs out slower or whatever. It's just whatever the game gives me. That's what I do when it comes to repairs.
Yeah, and me being on console, I don't really get that kind of an option, but it sounds something that would be interesting. I'm not exactly sure what the extended machine repair mod is, but when I hear about mods like this, it really leaves it tempting to be like, you know what? Maybe I ought to try it. Maybe I ought to try getting the PC version, in my case, getting the Mac version, and giving it a whirl. But I don't know. Just one of those. I mentioned it before. It's one of those I hesitate because I have the Xbox and I like. Do I want to spend the money to get off of the Xbox and then basically have a giant $500 paperweight? It's like I'm not quite sure. Let's see. So Ken says, nope. Will says, if you guys want any updates on anything, check out my Facebook page. Yes, absolutely. Will T Gaming has a very good Facebook page where he keeps us up to date on the mods, on the mods that are in testing, and the mods that have come out on the mod hub itself. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Ken says blood clots are no good. Will, yeah, no, not good at all. Don't mess with it. If they're saying that you ought to go get tested, then go get tested. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because that's something that can go very south very quickly.
You need to go get checked out, because I've had blood clots and I had to get them removed myself.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, don't play around with something like that. It's one of those that I don't want to be reaching out to you there, Will, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'm in the hospital. Don't do that to yourself. Am I just laying down fertilizer? Yes, I am. Needlessly laying down fertilizer. I just like wasting money. It's okay. It's all good.
It's just a game. It's not. It doesn't involve real life.
No, not at all. Oh my goodness! Especially how I'm playing this.
I'm taking it out of your bank account.
Yeah, especially how I'm playing this series. How I'm actually filling up from the station itself. I'm spending so much more money than what I'm used to spending, and I'm not making it as quickly as I'm used to making it either. So it's just one of those. It's really difficult for my brain to adapt to this. Because I'm used to spending $1,000 for the 5,000 liter pallet of fertilizer, and then turning around at the end of it and being able to then make 16, 17 grand on just a buyback on fertilizer kind of thing. So I spent maybe $2,000 to $3,000 going into it, and then getting 17,000 for the buyback plus the contract. So I'm used to making a net profit of 20, 25, 30 grand, and all of a sudden I'm going from $30,000 per contract to all of a sudden it's like $2,000-$3,000 if I'm lucky. So it's a really hard pill to swallow sometimes.
Yep.
But it is what it is. Let's see. Will says I sent a bunch of pictures to BDD. Yes, Will, I've got them queued up. I almost forgot. And I got them all queued up here, ready to go. So I remembered just before jumping on the stream tonight. Ken says, what up, Benji?
Well,
Oh, what was that?
I have to say, Will, with your screenshots, I'm blown away about every time. It seems like you show so much good stuff. Like, I don't know why you beat yourself. Your stuff is fantastic.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I 100% agree with Jonah there. It's one of those that, yeah, Will, you beat yourself up way too hard there, bud. Definitely give yourself some slack there. Let's see. Ken says, what up, Benji? Will says, what up, Benji? Benji says, just finished up the dishes, now relax time. Hey, that's a good way to go about it, and being able to relax here on the channel is a really good way to go about it as well. Let's see, I think I gotta turn here, and where's the... Alright, we're on the lookout for a train. Jonah, did another train just pass?
No, luckily no, and I don't hear one yet, so we're good.
Okay.
It was just luck.
Okay. We didn't have some lone BDD fan out there just listening in. It's like, okay, I'm gonna zero in on Jonah here.
He's gonna call the dispatcher, send a train.
It's like, okay, back up, and you'll be good to go. All right, now hit it.
No.
Oh my goodness, I could only imagine. It's one of those, like, just somebody out there is like, you know what? We pinpointed down where Jonah has to be in this general area there, and then all of a sudden just
Yeah, we're here. They want to be a part of the stream too.
hey, you know what? One of these days we're gonna get, you know, several people on board, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling here, and just getting it all going. Oh my goodness. But no, I just like I said, you know what? Let me give another thank you to Jonah here for joining me here tonight. Jonah, thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciate you as well, being a Tier 3 member and getting the newest Tier 3 member there, Ken Adlam. Thank you all so very, very much. Yeah, just greatly appreciate every single buddy out there. It's fantastic being on and being with you here tonight. Let's see, so we're going to get the worker going here in just a second once we can get this final pass in. Where am I? Just need to make sure that I'm keeping up with the chat and making sure that I'm not losing my spots. Apparently I've been bad at that here lately. People have been telling me, hey, you missed my comments. So tell you what there, Jonah, what kind of dad jokes you got in store for us tonight?
Tell you one. Let's see. Do you call a billboard that falls on top of you a bad sign?
Oh no. Oh my goodness. That's good. That's good. Love it. I love it. We'll save a few for later on, but that was a good one. You call a billboard that falls on top of you a bad sign. I mean, I would call it a bad sign, but that's I guess that could be up for debate.
I mean, it would be a bad sign. Like, it's like, well, is the sign bad, or is it a bad sign that maybe you should not be around billboards?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know. Just there's certainly the ability to argue against it, but the only way that I could see somebody arguing against that is if they had a good lawyer. Oh my goodness. Will says, nice Benji. In the store, LOL. Very nice. Ken says, and to do it on console is mind-blowing, Will. Yes, 100%. I still, to this day, cannot fathom putting that amount of work and detail into a console build. Like, I've seen PC players and how detailed they can get their maps and stuff, but they have all these extra, like, features and controls that us PC players, or I'm sorry, us console players, we don't have. You know, they get all the like little extras and the, oops, nope. You know what? We're gonna change our angle of attack here, because I can see that that's just gonna be an absolute nightmare trying to go back and forth with those poles there. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so PC and Mac players, they get all the kind of fancy, little things that they can do. They got the scripted mods and all these different things that they have access to that us console players don't have. So it's one of those that can make make or break the entire experience, that the depth that they can go into compared to us console players. So them having that kind of like next level ability makes it so much easier to build out those really fancy kind of farm builds and all that stuff. They can really be precise with how they're moving their mouse and doing everything that they want to do. Where was I? Will says, my new save, when I build it, will be on the dedicated server. Very nice. And then they will because of the GPS. See, that's what I think too. Is I think that there's going to be that kind of layer deeper with that GPS. It's going to allow the kind of better functionality of things. And Philippa, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. It says hi BDD game, hi BDD gaming, and hi Jonah. And then Philippa with the $5. Thank you so much, Philippa. Thank you very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Benji then says, how ironic a train would go by my place. Are you serious?
Oh no! Oh dear! What have we started?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so apparently I've got a load of shadow watchers out there. They're all either train conductors or they're train what are the spotters? What are the people at the
Rail
headquarters?
fans or something.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of rail fans out there, and they're just listening somehow, some way in the background, and they're just, they have everybody on stream coordinated somehow to where now all of a sudden they're just, you know what, we're gonna systematically go by people's houses somehow, even if people are not even living next to train systems like the railroads. Somehow they're gonna hop the curves, they're gonna be or hop the rails, they're gonna come over to somebody else's house next, and you're like, I'm not even close to a train. I live 100 miles away. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure it out. You watch.
Yep, Jasper wants to come say hi.
So, funny story. You mentioned Jasper. I have some things in the background for the channel here. Jasper is going to be involved with them, so be on the lookout here on the channel for a little bit of Jasper action. I'm not going to go into too much detail as of yet, but be on the lookout.
And I have to say another FYI, we got another train. So yet again, we mentioned the word mentioned train makes one show up.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. So Jonah, you know what? I'm still going to take credit for it. I'm going to take credit for it. It was just a delayed reaction.
We'll accept that.
Oh my goodness. So Jonah, have you already pre-ordered FS25? Oh yeah, I can hear it. I can hear that train coming by.
Yep, that's what I go through every day and night.
Whew, man. So Jonah, have you pre-ordered FS25?
Not yet, but I'm hoping to next paycheck when that comes in. That's the plan.
Very nice, very nice. What are some of the features that you're most excited for?
Well, like I said, I'm still learning the games. I'm pretty much saying I'm just looking to play, a new game. The first time I'll get, to experience, the latest farm simulator, because I came into 22, a little late, but I say just getting the experience of the, what's new. Like I'm looking at the stuff like being able to do rice and stuff. Like it's cool. It looks like it's gonna be way more complicated and way more fun.
Oh yeah, and the whole rice system that they have going up, the ability of actually being able to turn any field into rice, I think that is probably one of the most brilliant ideas that they had. What I was really worried about when I heard that rice was going to be the new thing was that, okay, well, they're going to have predefined fields and we're not going to be able to do anything. So you're going to have to play on either the Asian map to be able to utilize this. You're not going to be able to actually make it something unique and something that you're going to be able to kind of take advantage of outside of this one area. And then you're going to have to wait for those other maps, like the Italian rice map or the whatever, like the Brazilian heavy maps, where those are going to be actually utilized. I was really, really worried about that. But then once we learned that, no, it's actually going to be, something that you can custom put in yourself, that's when I really got excited. It's like, okay, this is something that can be, be a really good thing for us.
Indeed.
But
I guess.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna continue on, but no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna give your merch store a shout out. Like, say, I can totally recommend any of your shirts and stuff. Like, I'm wearing the "It's Going to Be a Good Day" shirt. It's a fantastic shirt. So go get you one if you want one. They're Jonah Elliott approved.
Oh, I appreciate that, Jonah. Thank you so much. Yeah, one of those that I've actually gotten a good recommend, or not a good recommendation, but a good review from not only you, but from Will T Gaming. Thank you both so much for your purchases there at the store. So I'm very glad that they've shown up and that they've met your expectations. So that makes me very happy. One of those that it was kind of nerve wracking, you know, wondering, well, is it going to be, good quality product? Is it going to, like, I had no idea. I don't actually see those products before they get purchased. So I'm glad to hear that they're actually good. Because that'd be, unfortunately, that'd be my luck that something, subpar would have been sent out and then I would have felt bad. But no, I'm glad that's not the case. Let's see, where is the entrance? You know what? It's not my field. Oh, there it is, right there.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They got a big enough field. They won't notice a couple thousand pieces missing.
Yeah, that's it too. What I always found funny, and for the longest time, because I play with the crop destruction on, I thought that, I'm doing a contract, so of course I'm going to have to, have crop destruction and be able to, take into account that, it's going to run over the contract crops, and I'm going to have to, like, factor that all in. It only works on your fields, and I was kind of surprised by that. I was almost a little disappointed.
Like, I think there should be consequences no matter what. I think even if you're not even doing a contract, if you run into someone's field with crop destruction on and you have to say you damage it a little bit, you have to pay what that crop would have been worth to that person.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would kind of be like a really cool addition. And of course, like just like anything that's on this game, something that can be turned on and turned off at any time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Like,
it would be cool if there was like the ability to have consequences, even like because we have like a damage bar and stuff like that. But how cool would it be is that you bump into a car and it's like, oh well, you're fined $100 or you're fined however much based on the collision. I think those things would kind of be a little bit interesting, a little bit cool.
or you have to pay for the road sign you knocked down for the 100th time.
Jonah, come on. Yeah, do we have to take the digs? Like,
Oh, I hit signs too. Like I've hit thousands of signs on my thing because I'm carrying big stuff down a road that's not meant for big equipment.
which is really surprising on Big Flats, Texas. I mean that you're designed to have big equipment on that map. Like it's not meant for like small or medium sized equipment. It's meant for the biggest of the big. So it's
Yep.
one of those that not that it's surprising that you'd hit anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's just surprising that there's narrow enough roads where that's a concern.
Well, there's also, the ironic thing that there's just inconveniently placed signs like right at the edge of your field. It's like so your AI worker will back over the sign trying to, reconnect with the field. It's like, why would you put that sign there like 2 inches away from the edge of the field?
Oh man, and those are sometimes like the worst too. And you set up a worker and they're kind of doing their thing and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you come back and you see like signs in the middle of the field or signs knocked over, and it's like, okay, I know what happened here.
Yep. I've come back and I've seen 8 signs just dragging along with the tractor. I'm like, where'd you pick all these up at?
So funny story. There was a one time, long time ago. This is before I was into like created the channel and did all that stuff there. And there was one time where I had actually set a worker off, and then I had gone off and did other things. I was working around the farm and doing all that stuff, and I had gotten the message, okay, worker completed their task. I was like, okay, great, fantastic. So I ended up going to the field to just kind of take a look around and see what was going on, because I didn't get the completion. I just said it just said they were done with their task. Well, then I look at the worker and the tractor and whatnot, and there were signs, 3 of them, just stuck in random bits on the tractor. Like there was one that was kind of like stuck in the wheel arch, there was one in the weight, and there was one just kind of sitting on the hood of the tractor. I'm like, well, how did this happen? And it's just, no matter what I do, I'm driving around the field trying to shake off these signs, no matter how I turn, no matter how I articulate the wheels or anything like that, it's all just stuck. There's nothing I can do to get rid of them. And I'm sitting there trying to jump out of there to grab the signs, with the actual player themselves. And I'm sitting there just grabbing them, and they're just like, they are there forever now. So it was one of those that was a very interesting thing to come back to, was seeing that that there was not 1, not 2, but 3 separate signs all stuck to the to that actual bit of equipment.
Who knew you had to babysit your AI workers?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Will just says, yo, what up? I'm back from the store. What up, Will? Hope you had a good trip to the store.
Oh, Will, I got a song for you.
Go for it.
Jonah started the fire. He nearly burned the station. Now he's on probation. Jonah started the fire. He couldn't handle the lighter. Now he's in the fryer.
Oh no. I love it. Love it.
That's a song based off a true event with me having a grill that nearly burned down the Amtrak station we rail fan at.
Oh no. So wait.
You want to hear this?
Yes, I gotta hear this story.
Okay, so like say we have our rail fan meetups and stuff where a lot of us get together and stuff, so we decided, hey, we wanted to have some burgers and like cook out at the station. So I have this small little grill that's portable and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll bring the grill and the charcoal and stuff. So I'm out there, I pour a little bit of lighter fluid on it and light it up and shut it so it can kind of heat up. Well, all of a sudden the flames kind of start coming up the top a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, I'll open up the thing. Well, the flames just get bigger and bigger and bigger until I'm like, okay, this whole grill is just on fire. So I open it up and I saw the fireball went 40 feet in the air. I was like, oh my Lord. And then it settled down. I'm like, well, thank the Lord, I don't have to go grab the fire extinguisher, but like everyone's like, you almost burned down the station with your grill. I'm like, sorry.
Whoa. and good luck explaining that to anyone. Like trying to explain that to authorities, like the cops or the fire departments. Like, one, what are you doing here? That'd be the first question I'm sure anybody would ask. But then to explain, yeah, I was trying to start a barbecue, and all of a sudden, whoosh.
Yep, my barbecue decided he wanted to try to make a forest fire.
Oh, we're smoking when you need them.
Oh, yeah. like, still to this day, like, say, it's never done it like that ever again. I'm like, what was different about that one time I brought it that just made it, just go AWire with the flame? Must have been something with the charcoal.
Either something with the charcoal, or it was, like, just an excess buildup of grease or something.
That could have also been it. It's just like, well, it just needs to burn off all that grease, I guess.
Oh,
because once I open it up, it just, like I said, it settled down. Like say it went up the big flame and then it just put itself out and we could cook on it. I'm like, well, at least it wasn't as bad as it could have been. At least the grill didn't start melting.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to catch up with the chat here because I just saw a couple pop up there and I just got a notification. So let's go ahead and catch up with this just real quick. So let's see. Ken says, Yes, you have to take the digs. How else are you going to laugh along with you? LOL. Yes, it's one of those that I will begrudgingly take the digs. Let's see. Benji says, I'm currently playing FS17. Oh, that's awesome, Benji. One of those, I actually saw Mr. Seeley P is doing a series, I think a Let's Play series, on an FS17 map, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Drummond Farm or something like that. Which I haven't been paying attention. I haven't kept up with it, but I just thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a good idea to kind of do a throwback series. Thought that was pretty cool. Will says, I can't wait for BDD to show off the screenshots. Took some really good ones. Yes, we are going to approach that likely after intermission. We'll kick it to that. Then Ken with the $5. Ken, thank you so very, very much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. So very much. And then Ken says, LOL to Jonah. And then Will with the $10 says, Jonah, my ears are bleeding. LOL. Just kidding. My ears. They are bleeding after that song. LOL. Oh, Will.
Will, next time you get on, you gotta sing. I did my part.
He did his part. So, Will, are you gonna pick up the challenge next time that you're on? And Ken, make sure that you reach out to me via Facebook or any of my socials so I can connect with you regarding your tier 3 stuff. I will set up your code and all that stuff in the background, so make sure that you reach out to me. Actually, it's not as important for you because I know who you are and I know your screen name and all that stuff, so I'll be able to find you. I had a recent incident where another person had upgraded to the tier 3, but I didn't have a way to contact them. So it was one of those I kind of had to throw up the flag and be like, hey, you know, are you who I think you are? So it's less important for you. Benji with the upside down, what looks like smiley faces. And then Will says, any news about FS, you can check them out on my Facebook page. Yes, again, check out Will's Facebook page. He does a lot of good record keeping over there. Let's see. And I think, yeah, we're all caught up. So, again, thank everybody who's come out tonight. Thank everyone who's donated to the stream. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Oh, and Jonah, dude, gifted a membership to BDD Gaming. Thank you so much, Jonah. And I can thank you here on stream, so that works out very nicely. Gifted it to...
a while, so I figured I'll do one. Why not? I have some money left over.
I appreciate it, Jonah. Thank you.
No problem.
And I hope whoever gets that gifted membership greatly appreciates it as well.
Benji got it.
Oh, Benji got it. Oh, it doesn't say it on my end. Oh, no, it does. Oh, Benji was gifted. Ah, there it is. I just need to read better. Benji, hope you appreciate the gifted membership. So there we go. All right, so thanks, Jonah, says Benji. So the newest BDD member here to the channel, and actually, that was gonna lead me to later on, but Jonah, because you just add another member to the channel here, that allows me to add 2 new emojis to the channel. So
Yay!
Jonah with the big contribution to the channel there, we're going to get some new emojis. I've already reached out to Predator Studios, and they are actually being made right this second. So that was something I was kind of... you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll spill the beans. I was alluding to it earlier, but Jasper is going to be making his appearance.
Yay!
So we are going to get a Jasper emoji, and we're going to be getting another emoji besides Jasper there. So just wanted to thank you for that one, and we're going to get both of them here soon. So they are in development. They are being made. Literally just reached out to Predator Studios today. Again, big shout out to Predator Studios for making all the badges, all the emojis, all the channel logo art, all that. Everything that is, of this channel was made by Predator Studios. So if you are looking for anything in the ways of emojis or anything like that, check them out. They're over on Etsy. That's where I found them. And they do, I think, fantastic work. I love the badges, I love the emojis, and I love the logo here for the channel. And they do such a great job with just taking an idea and running with it. So yeah, they big shout out to Predator Studio. Let's see. Move on to the next one because that one is done, and again, wasting money. that's just kind of a running theme here.
To make money.
Yeah, I mean, you got to spend money to make money, but don't want to waste money. Because the reason it's wasting is because I'm spending so much to buy this fertilizer, and I'm not making as much as I should on the back end, especially if I'm spending it beyond the completion of the contract.
Hey, they wouldn't mind a little extra free fertilizer, right?
I mean, they wouldn't, but I mean, I want money. I need to be able to buy stuff.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they should come out with a better pay if you actually do the whole field instead of just, partial, not leaving it majority. Like, say, maybe you can get a bonus for doing the whole field.
Oh, man, that's actually a really brilliant idea.
Like, say, you can just, do it based off, say, what they want, but get an extra bonus if you do the whole field beyond what they want.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good idea. So, yeah, if you did, the entirety of the field, you'd be able to get, a bonus, say, a 5% or 10% bonus. But if you do, just enough to complete the contract, well, then you get, base pay kind of thing.
Yep.
That's a good idea. See, that's the one thing I really like and appreciate about the makers of this game, Giants, is that they do a really good job of not only, making a game that is so universal for so many different people to play on, but they do a great job on listening to their community and actually building the product that their community wants. Because it's one of those, I've mentioned this before, I'm a big hockey fan. I'm a huge hockey fan. I love the Detroit Red Wings. I've been a big fan for years. And I used to be a huge fan of the EA Sports NHL series. I used to buy it just religiously, year in, year out. I was one of those people, I would take a week off of work and just make sure that I got my fix in of playing as much of the game as I wanted to before, kind of going back to quote-unquote real life kind of thing. So it was just one of those that basically, because it was EA and their kind of model of doing things, you basically got what it is that they provided you. You had, it felt like you had very little input. You would see all these really great ideas, like what we get here in this community. You get all these really great ideas, but it was like EA just didn't care. They didn't care. It's just, this is what you get, deal with it. That's just the vibe that I would always get whenever I was on their game year in and year out kind of thing. But with Giants, I genuinely feel like Giants does the work and says, okay, what can we legitimately do that is within our ability, one, to do, but two, that is going to be a net positive for our user base. And I think that's why we get such giant leaps forward. Going from 19 to 22, it just felt like it felt like Farming Simulator, but there was so much that they added between 19 to 22 that just made it like a giant leap forward. And the biggest one that we got was the production chains. And you could see how in 19 they were really starting to dabble with that. Like the individual mod makers were starting to dabble with the whole ability to do productions. You know, they're basically tweaking the animal system to be able to put in products, have inputs for what would be the animals and get outputs from the animals. But what they would do is that they would just tweak it to where it was then all of a sudden a more of a production point and nothing to do with animals. So they took that concept and made it into what we now know as the production system here on 22. But now we're seeing another leap forward, and we still have time. We still have time to see what other elements they're going to add to this game. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of this community, and I'm excited to be able to see that now I'm a part of a product line that genuinely feels like it cares about their users and their customers. So it's almost like a foreign concept to me. But you know what I'm saying there, Jonah? Like, or
Yeah,
am I just
I know
kind of?
exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Giants does a good stuff. Good job making this game, and they also do a good job by allowing other people, to do the mods. Like, this game probably won't be as fun as it is without the modder. So, like, everyone does their part to make this game, fantastic. Like it's I've enjoyed every minute of it. And it's one of those like I regret, kind of getting into it late, but it's like I'm glad I get into it at all because I've I've been missing out. I've been missing out a lot.
Well, and it's funny because I'll ask you this question next. So, how I got into Farming Simulator was I used to watch the YouTuber Markiplier. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a pretty big YouTuber, got millions of followers and the whole 9 yards. But he does gaming content, and he just so happened to do a series on Farming Simulator with two of his friends. And I was just kind of watching them play, and he's very much a goofball, just like him and his friends, very much kind of a goofball, and they're just kind of slamming through it and whatnot. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm just like, this actually kind of looks like a pretty cool game. It was FS19 is what he was playing, and I'm like, it actually seems kind of cool. So I got into FS19 kind of on the middle portion of it, and it was one of those just watching him kind of go about it just kind of made me interested in it. But then I was like, okay, well, what can I actually do? Not, what is it that he's gonna do that's gonna kind of be goofy and kind of made for entertainment, but what is it that I can do with this game that kind of make me really make me want to stay a fan and be a part of this kind of thing. So I started playing it, and it's like, man, like before when I was playing my NHL or I was playing other games, I would always feel that kind of, I don't want to say like anxiety, but that kind of like hyper competitiveness that gaming can bring about. You're on there, you get frustrated if you screw up or whatever. Like you get all these kind of different range of emotions playing games, depending on what they are. But on Farming Simulator, I just felt relaxed, and I felt like it was just something to do to kind of bring me down from the day. And as I'm getting older in life, it's one of those where I'm able to just kind of kick back, relax, and I don't necessarily want to feel that stress level of what I was feeling with the other games that I was playing. I used to play games like I said, the NHL. I used to play, what was it, Left 4 Dead, Red Dead Redemption, all those kind of like shooter games and all those kind of sports games and all that stuff. But I would always feel like kind of like almost on edge by the end of it kind of thing. And
I know what you mean. Like, say, I'm the same way with those games.
So how is it that you became involved with Farming Simulator? What made you kind of discover it?
Like, well, there was kind of like two, like, say, I'd always like watched farming simulator, like say it's been on my radar for a while, but I'm like, well, I'm always busy. But then like say in November, I got unfortunately was laid off from my first job. It was like, well, I was just bored sitting around the house. It's like, well, I keep watching these farming simulators, like from you, Driver, and like lots of other people. I'm like, well, let me go give it a try, and man, I'm like, this is so much fun. And then soon after that, I got another job. I'm like, but I just kept playing the farming simulator, like say every day. Like I would get off work, and, like I'd like play it for like 8 hours straight afterwards. So it's like, it's just conveniently timing. It's like, man, I'm kind of glad I get laid off in the last job because I'm better off now. But I found communities that I'm a part of within these games, which is very fun, which I didn't really have much of when I wasn't playing these games.
Well, and that's the other thing too is the like you said, the sense of community that you get is there were times where I tried to be a part of a community in, like, let's say the NHL games or even other games. There was like the Left 4 Dead. Obviously, I've tried like Call of Duty and stuff like that, and doing kind of like the online gaming and stuff like that. But I just every single time that I tried to be a part of the community within those communities, it always seemed very, for lack of a better word, toxic. There was just that super hyper competitive nature that people would have, and it was like almost as if they weren't winning, then the world was ending. And I
Yeah,
just
like so.
yeah, and I just got to a point to where I was like, you know what, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of a community where, you know, everything is so cutthroat where you've got to win by any means necessary, even if it was, quote unquote, kind of cheaty. For an example, in the NHL game, if you got a cross crease, so for those who are not familiar with hockey, there's the there's the goal on either end, and if you're on the offense, you've got the puck in the defensive zone. Your objective is to get the puck into the net behind the goalie. Well, in the game, some of the easiest goals that you would get is that if you're able to get the puck from one side of the net to the other, so going left to right, the goalie wouldn't ever react quick enough to be able to get what's called a cross crease. So you just kind of go from one side of the net to the other and have the other player just slap it into the back of the net. And there would be times where that's all people would do is they would rush the net, they would have another player, on the other side, and the defense was so inept that it would prevent them from being able to make contact with the puck or prevent you from doing the cross crease. So that's pretty much all people would do, and they would try and run up the score 10 to nothing, 20 to nothing. There were times where I saw scores like 25 to nothing kind of thing. It was just ridiculous. And people would be like, "Oh, you noob," or you like they would just start sitting there and just kind of dunking on people who just couldn't prevent them from doing these cross crease kind of things. And it was just like you're not special, like you're not doing anything that's good or anything. You're just able to take advantage of the weakness that is innately built into the system kind of thing. So it's just one of those, like, again, like, for lack of a better word, it was just very kind of a toxic atmosphere. You weren't able to enjoy what it was that the game had to offer. So it was just
And
one of those that I just kind of walked away. I just wasn't worth it.
yeah, like say when I play my games, like saying some racing games and stuff, like say when you're winning, it's like it's fun, but then all of a sudden the person who's right beside you just spins you out just because they want first place so bad. Instead of just trying to get around you, they gotta wreck you to be able to get in first place and maybe win the race. So that's why I'm like, I only play with a special group of friends where we're fair and we actually play like little kids and take turns winning, so it's fair for everybody.
Well, and that's it. Is like if you're able to find that group, that kind of niche of people that are in it, that kind of have like the same drive and the same kind of viewpoint that you have, then it can actually be fun. But yeah, like you said, it's those hyper competitive, and it's like I've got to win by any means necessary. And don't get me wrong, there's times where it's like that can be fun because it's bringing out the kind of the deeper competitive level for everyone. You know, and having those times can be a good thing. But there's times where you just want to come on and just kind of mess around and have fun. You know, not have to be like hyper focused on, you know, competing. And that's why I took such a shine to this, is that there there isn't necessarily a competition going on. It's just procedure. It's just what do I have to do next in order to make the next thing happen.
Hmm.
So, and even if you have people coming on to your map or coming on and playing multiplayer and doing stuff like that, like, again, it's not competition. There are ways to set up competitions, there are ways of doing that in this game, but that's not the goal. The goal is to, you know, make your small farm into a big farm, or maintain a big farm, or whatever the case may be. You know, it's just one of those, like, you can set up so many different scenarios, so many different things, and it's, you know, you find all these different people who, when you come onto these live streams or you come onto the game itself, you all have the same goal, you know, which is to make as much money as you possibly can and to make the operation successful.
Yeah, like say with me, like say I've got several of my friends that occasionally play with me. Like say when we got like five of us on my Texas map, we all just did the map. You know, we all harvested the fields. It's fun playing with people. Like say it's like you don't have to be competitive. Say like, oh look who harvested the most. It's just like let's just get this harvested. You know, and we can still have fun, goof around, but you know, make jokes with everybody. It's just like it. Farming simulator, I find it's like you don't have to be competitive. You can just have fun farming. You know, doing acting like you're a farmer. Yell at the old kid, the old man across the street, or whatever in the game. It's just fun.
Yeah, and that's it exactly, is that you can just come on and have a good time. And you can, like you mentioned earlier, you can have as realistic time as possible, or you can just be kind of a goof and do anything and everything that your heart is desiring, kind of thing. You play the game however you want to play it, and if you come on there with a bunch of buddies and you do like an ultra realistic style, then that's kind of a cool thing. But if you come on with a bunch of buddies and you're just, you know, kind of horsing around and just getting things done, that's great too. It's just, it's whatever it is that the individual is playing is wanting it to be. And that's, I've said it so many times by now, but yeah, that is the by far the greatest thing about this game, is it's whatever you want. It's it's the a la carte of gaming. So let me catch up with the chat here, because we got a couple here. So Will says, "Everyone here are my friends. BD, my best friend. Thank you thank you much, guys." Will, absolutely no problem. I greatly appreciate you and your friendship. And yeah, this whole community, I greatly appreciate every single person out here. This is just a fantastic space that we're developing here, and I hope that we can continue to grow this space, bring more and more people into the fold, and just keep on trucking. I just feel like we're doing such a great job here creating this community of friends that, you know, the sky's the limit on this. It really is. Ken says, yes, Mr. CLP is doing a Let's Play series on Durham, FS17. I thought so. I thought I saw that, that he was doing a map there. Benji with the emojis, and like I said, I'm looking forward to adding 2 more, thanks to Jonah and Benji for receiving the gifted. But yes, that is in the works, and that will be probably a day or 2 in the making. So keep on the lookout here over the next couple of days for those new emojis. Will says he is hilarious, 100%. And then Ken says, Mr. CLP did a live stream on Durham map, FS17. I think it was 2 days ago. Yes, I did. Whoa. Okay. I guess the tractor wanted to go for a swim. But I think... Haha, complete. All right, well, 150,000. I mean, I started around, I think it was just around 100,000 when this stream started, so not too bad. Not too bad. Luke, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hello, and Benji says hi to Luke.
Hello, Luke.
So we do have Rail Fanning Jonah here on the stream with us live. Thank you again, Jonah, so very much for joining us here tonight. I am going to go ahead and fast forward to the month of May. Yeah, let's fast forward to May. Let's go ahead and head back to the farm before we do that and just kind of check things out, make sure that everything's good to go. So chickens are producing. Did we get pigs? We didn't get pigs, not yet. Oh, that's right, because I don't have enough.
Make that bacon.
Yes, one of these streams we are definitely going to get pigs. I just don't have enough pig food just yet. Wow. 30,000 liters of manure.
That'll make great fertilizer.
I was literally just thinking that. I was literally just thinking, like, man, we should do something with this. Let's see, productions. You know what we could do? Where is it? Where is it? Yes. Why not this?
Yeah.
45 grand, take manure and turn it into fertilizer.
Like say, yet again, you spend a little bit of money, but you be able to, you know, make your own fertilizer. It's like, so you don't have to always buy it. And that's good.
Oh yeah, and even if you don't necessarily just buy it, I mean, it's one of those. It sells for so much more. Like I'm a huge fan of making things into fertilizer, because oftentimes the base product that you're using is so significantly cheaper than what it is that you're going to sell the fertilizer for. So you can see, perfect example, if I were to sell manure right now, I'd make $61 per 1,000 liters. Cheap. But if I sell fertilizer right now, I mean, I don't have a selling station right at this moment, but I mean, $2,000 per 1,000 liters is typically the base, maybe almost $3,000. Taking manure and making it into fertilizer is money in the bank. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Definitely gonna do that. 45 grand is nothing when you compare it to the amount that you can actually get out of it. So
it's pocket change.
Oh, it really is. You figure the first load that you sell pays for it, and then you make a profit off the first load. I think that looks pretty good right there.
Agree.
There we go. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. Now, okay, so 1,000 liters of manure in for 500 liters of solid fertilizer out. So yeah, you're getting a 2-to-1 reduction, but you're making a, what is that, like a several thousand liter, 7,000% increase in your overall payout if I can install a place to sell it. So even if I don't sell it, I can instead actually start buying it or using this instead of buying it. So I make the profit at that point.
Yep.
So,
and if you have animals, you know, they naturally just make, you know, the stuff for you. So you have it's self-sustaining too. So you always have it.
And that's it. That's it exactly. Is, like I said, that's the one thing I can highly recommend every single time is making your own fertilizer. Let's see. I think I can teleport to the shop area here. I need to get a bucket.
And also think, you know, with animals, like say if you have, you know, your fields that can be, you know, have straw and stuff or mow the grass, you can easily just feed your animals with that, you know, without having to buy the animal feed, and it everything just sustains itself like that too. So it's a never-ending cycle.
Oh, and that's it. That's it exactly. Is figuring out those ways to be able to save yourself having to spend money on product going out. I mean, it just works. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of this game, is to figure out ways to kind of get self-sustained. But I mean, it just really depends. Like, again, I'm going to use Will as the example. Ooh, 20, yes. You know what? Why not? 25,000 liters? Meh. We're not really doing realistic on this one.
Yeah, who needs realistic? Just get it done in one go.
There we go. 25,000 liters. We'll take, what, 2 bucket loads?
Of course it's realistic. I mean, they have 25,000 liter buckets, right?
Oh, I mean, why not? If they don't, they should.
Yeah, someone should make it.
Somebody
Maybe
needs
where it just hides the rest of it somewhere else in the bucket. Like, say it looks like a small bucket, but it's like it has a secret compartment that just is like never ending. You can put like everything into it, but it just looks like it's a regular bucket.
Oh, I mean, somebody needs to come up with warp gate technology, pocket dimension technology, just so we can just kind of fold space and time and be able to just have our 25,000 liter bucket. Why not? Come on,
Yeah.
all you engineers out there, you're slacking. Come on, get to work. And all the engineers out there who listen to this is like, dude, you could go take a hike right now.
They're telling us we could both go take a hike. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those, like, I'm a big fan of sci-fi, and I always like to think, like, maybe one of these days, like, space travel and all that kind of stuff would be really, really cool, like going over long distances and all that stuff, using like wormholes and stuff like that. It's just all that kind of stuff would kind of interest me, like the whole sci-fi. Like my mother, when she was alive, she used to love the sci-fi channel, so I got a whole bunch of sci-fi movies and stuff when I was growing up, and yeah, just one of those kind of genres that always kind of interested me. But let's see what we got cooking here with this massive bucket.
Yeah, with its totally realistic capacity.
Totally realistic. I don't know what anybody's talking about. If anybody says that 25,000 liter bucket is not realistic, then I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. You're just wrong, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Roger. I mean, this helps us out a lot.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, it's one of those, like, I vaguely remember for a little while there, Giants was really trying, especially on FS19, to try and be realistic. Like all their implements and all that stuff that had to have that realism to them. And it was so much so that modders, I think it was TNT Modding, had made several maps, and inside the maps they had mods that were altered to where they were unrealistic. And all of a sudden you saw several of TNT Modding's mods, or their maps, be taken down from the mod hub. And the reason that they were giving is that Giants was basically saying, you're not allowed to have these unrealistic mods. So it was just one of those kind of interesting things that was happening back in those days. But then all of a sudden, here we are in FS22, and it's like, realism? Who needs realism?
And it's one of the things, you have like the availability, I can't talk yet. The ability to do realistic or unrealistic if you want, or a little bit of both, just trying out both. If you, like say, sometimes it's hard to be realistic when you got big fields, or when you got a group of friends, it's easier to be realistic because it's easier because you have more people doing all the work that you have to hire AI workers for.
Oh yeah, and that's it exactly. It's like, I can understand, where Giants was coming from and saying, hey, these things need to be realistic. But then eventually they just kind of acquiesced and said, okay, we're not going to force realism, but we are going to force you having at least a hint of realism. So you got to have it as a what?
What?
What? What happened?
Oh. What? Because I put it next to the bunker here, it's registering within the production point. Oh, so when I dumped it in here, I didn't realize. I came back around the corner, I saw all the manure just kind of right here in the line. It's like I just literally picked this all up. What happened?
Jasper at it again.
Jasper!
Oh no.
And for those who don't understand where that line is coming from, take a look at the channel store, the merch store, and you'll see a line of coffee mugs and t-shirts and whatnot. And it's the fiery emoji. You can actually look at the line item from Benji of all the emojis there, and it's the one with the fire behind it, and underneath it's just in all caps Jasper. Go ahead and check out the merch store. I've got tons of stuff up there, and yeah, I think it's pretty funny. Let's see. Ken says, speaking of Big Flats, Texas, I completed my 2 fields of red beets harvest. The total was 11.7 million liters of product. Holy... Wait a minute. Wait, what's going on here?
What? What have we broken the game?
All right, y'all. Does anybody see what I'm seeing here? Take a look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Manure is at 31,000. Fertilizer is rocketing up at 500. It's supposed to be a 2-to-1 reduction.
I see that like on full screen right now. Like I blew it up. I'm like, yeah, that's going up. Manure ain't going down and fertilizer's going up. I think you found an infinite. Have you found an infinite fertilizer glitch with this?
I may have found a way to get all the fertilizer that I want, and then some.
Yeah. Good. If it's supposed to be like 1,000, you're supposed to get 1,000, or you're supposed to get 500 for every 1,000. You shouldn't be getting that much.
No. Well, not only I shouldn't be getting that much, but I shouldn't be getting... Like, I should be seeing the manure going down significantly faster than the solid fertilizer is going up.
Like, at this point, it just literally looks like the fertilizer's just producing itself out of thin air.
That's exactly what it's doing. All right, let's do this then. If that's the case, oh, that's a real shame too, because that's... I mean, it's awesome.
I'll say leave it. It's free fertilizer. It's free fertilizer, right?
I mean, I know I'm not doing an ultra realistic gaming here. I understand this. Even my rate...
That may just seem a little too unfair.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit much. But I'm
get it. Hey, you still get some value out of it.
Yeah, I just pretty much spent half of it just to get back. Ugh, basically wasted 20 grand.
Hey, well, I would have said maybe just let it build up enough where you make up for it.
Yeah, I could have. Oh, and I am getting the heads up that I need to take a break for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on standby here for just a second. Jonah, go ahead and hang out there for a little bit. I'm not going to be able to hear you, but I will be right back.
Okay.
And I am back. Jonah, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Beauty. All right, so we have got to find us a different fertilizer production. I'm using this one over on Pelenier, so I think I'm going to try something different.
It's always good to try something new,
Yeah.
as long as it doesn't cost you too much money.
Well, that's why I might do something like this, because doesn't this one do solid? No, this doesn't do solid fertilizer, does it? No, this one doesn't do solid fertilizer either. Huh. Alright, so that's the one I just tried and found it. So anybody out there who's interested in getting an unlimited supply of fertilizer, check out the fertilizer production mod. It's there on the mod hub. It comes with these 4 different styles. I don't know if all of them do all... What are you doing there, Bindi? You silly dog. So, my dog just threw a pillow at me.
You had it. Maybe it was the position you had it. You know, maybe it was too close to the thing, and it just kept collecting it, but not collecting it. You know, it.
I mean, that's definitely possible. Now, see, here's this one here for the lime fertilizer, salt, herbicide, seed production. So I could produce a whole bunch of different stuff, but it really wouldn't make sense here on the farm.
There's, and I don't. Doesn't look well.
Yeah, I don't know. Here, while I'm humming and hawing, let me catch up with the chat here real quick. Yeah, so Ken was saying how he had 11.7 million liters of red beets. That's insane amount of red beets. Ken also says 2 applications of fertilizer, no lime added. Wow, so even with a reduction, you still got 11.7 million liters. That's nuts. Gold Gaming, how's it going, Gold? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. It says, howdy neighbors. Benji says, making diesel can also be a huge profit. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said howdy to gold.
Yeah, so if you can find a good production point for diesel where it's not requiring a lot of inputs, you do get that huge upswing in value, just like the fertilizer. You're right, absolutely right about that, Benji. And then Ken says, got about $2.8 million for them. Oh, I bet you made a pretty profit off of that one. Holy smokes.
Can you share some of that money?
Yeah, absolutely. Now see, there's
We
this
can
one.
split it 3 ways.
There's this one here that would kind of fit in the farm kind of thing. And I couldn't.
That would be good. Like, say you can load up your trailers there. Way easier.
Yeah. And it also produces... Oh, wait a minute. So this produces TMR, hay, wait, manure as well, silage, and... Huh. See, I don't know if I necessarily want this because I just got this thing back here for the TMR. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep on hunting. We're going to find something. Oh, there's this little guy. Ooh, and that would fit back over. That would fit right here.
Oh, nice little cute and easy.
Yeah, and $5,000. That's even cheaper than the last one. It might not produce as fast, but that's something. Let's.
I mean, hey, it'll be worth, like, say you get a little bit of the money back, and you're like, well,
yeah,
it's cheap, and if you don't like it, you didn't waste a lot of money on it.
I like the way you think there, Jonah.
It's like one of those, you better make sure you like something before you put it down, because if you put it down and you don't like it, and your game saves, you just lost half your profit.
That's it. That's it exactly. I basically just experienced that, so there. Okay. I can live with that.
Let's see if it's really making fertilizer now.
Oh yeah. Let's.
Make sure it's just not that spot that's just somehow it's creating infinite fertilizer.
Oh no! Oh wait. Oh wait. So look, check it out. So it does recognize the manure there. All I gotta do is bring over slurry. Oh, look at that! It's a 1-to-1. That's a 1-to-1 production for fertilizer.
That's good.
Oh man, I like it. Oh, but you can just put in the single slurry and digestate, and you get a half reduction. Wow, wow.
So this is turned out for the better, it looks like.
Yeah. Where has this mod been my whole life? I
Waiting
wonder,
for you to discover it.
right? I wonder if I can do this. Ooh, I can. 9:15. Yeah, there it is. That's excellent.
Yeah, praise the Lord, like, the stuff doesn't just pile up on the ground like you act like say there doesn't have to be a hole there.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly. Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy with that.
Can you imagine, like, saying actually having to have a hole for it to go into, and if it doesn't have a hole, having like the physical, like, say, put it in there, like, say, with like a shovel or something?
Oh man, yeah, that would be nuts. Oh, and I can't use. That's right, I can't use a worker to take this back. I got to take it myself. Oh well.
You need the drive time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now I need to go and buy myself a some kind of slurry tanker or something so I can put it into that production point. We're going to be producing fertilizer. Yes. Let's see. So Benji has a question for you. Jonah says, question for Jonah: what inspired you to do railfan videos?
Well, I've loved trains my entire life. Started off watching Thomas and stuff, but saw other people doing it, and like eventually in 2015, just started used my phone to record some trains, and then transferred into a camera, and then many cameras later, where I'm at now, gaining a few subs every day, and living next to the tracks, living the dream of every rail fan.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, on your page there, on your channel, you have like a live stream or something going on that shows the train going, don't you?
Occasionally, like, say, for a while there, like, say, I set up, like, say, a little webcam facing the train when I was at work, just showing all the trains that go by. Like, say, can't really do that much anymore because I have other stuff feeling out of the computer, but I'm hoping someday to kind of set up like an actual camera, like, say, like a security camera, but not for like security. Like, say, I can connect to it with the PC and stream the trains as they go by 24/7.
So,
Like,
not a sponsor or anything, but I use security cameras in my residence here, and one brand that I use is called Wyze, WYZE. I don't know if that would necessarily work for you, but it's a very good security camera for very little money. Like one of their really good cameras, it's called the V2. I think they're up to V3 now. Is like $25-$30, and you can stream it from your phone. You can stream it to your computer, like the whole 9 yards. I've got it set up on my computer. I've got it set up on my phone or whatnot. But you could do like a capture from like your computer kind of thing. So I don't know if that's something that would work for you or not, but it's got like night vision modes on them and the whole 9 yards. It works out very, very well for like home security and stuff. They've got like motion tracking and whatnot, notifications. So yeah, one of those, check it out, because Like I said, that's what I use, and it works great, and it's cheap.
On the talk of trains, I've got another dad joke for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay, what's a lawyer's favorite railroad?
I don't know. What is a lawyer's favorite railroad?
The Sioux Line.
Nice. I love it. Love it.
That used to be an actual railroad. The Sioux Line used to be an actual railroad, so that's a joke with an actual background.
That one I actually knew, and the reason that I knew that is where I lived up there in Michigan. I used to go up to the Upper Peninsula all the time. Now the Sioux Line and what I'm getting ready to say are not related, but it led me down a rabbit hole when I was younger. But up there in the Upper Peninsula, there's a town called Sault Ste. Marie. And in Sault Ste. Marie, there's something known as the Sioux Locks, which is for the big, like, shipping tankers for, like, the lakes, the Great Lakes there. And, yeah, it's basically what, for those who don't know what a lock is, referring to nautical terms or in regards to boats, it's a series of boat elevators. So when you have two bodies of water that are not the same height and or the same elevation, the locks, you pull a boat into the lock and they basically flood or take away water to get it up or down to the same level that the water is on one side of the lock or the other. So basically it's a boat elevator. And yeah, when I was younger, I started doing a lot of research because I went to the Sioux Locks to see it in person, and then led me down kind of the rabbit hole of finding out all the other things. So I did know that one, Jonah. Let's see. So I need a trailer for liquids. Now, what trailer do I want? That is the question.
Buy them all. Buy all the trailers.
If I had the money, I would. But, I could...
Probably prefer it to be a tanker trailer.
Yes, that is preferred. I might go with this one here.
That looks good, and you pull it with the tractor. It doesn't need a semi-truck to pull it. You can pull it with the tractor.
Yes. Let's check under animals real quick. There's this one here. 8,000 liters, 25 grand. Oops, wrong button. Or the TARDIS. 20 grand or 20,000 liters for $5,000. That's a decent price right there.
I would agree.
I think we're gonna do that. Except we're not gonna have the TARDIS blue. We'll go with that one. Why not?
Let's go with Carolina Hurricanes red.
What's that? Carolina Hurricanes? Oh,
Let's
Jonah. Jonah. Jonah, come on.
Sorry, I had to do it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. A little friendly hockey ribbing is almost expected. So let's get this tanker back. Let's see, and I'm seeing a couple other messages pop up there, so we'll go ahead and read those off here in just a second there. We'll get this back. I got to remember where to take this to get the slurry out. I'm actually really excited. I want to see how well this actually produces. I vaguely remember having this production point on another Let's Play of mine. I want to say it was Land of La Mancha, way back in the day. When that was like the second... I think that was the second Let's Play series I've ever done for the channel. wait, yeah, that was almost a year and a half ago almost. It'll be, holy smokes, it just dawned on me. In September, I think it'll be 2 years since I started the channel. Wow. Where does the time go?
You're growing real fast.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're growing real fast too. You're gaining a lot of subs real fast too.
Yeah, I'm tell you what, I am very, very grateful for that. Whoa. Where do I go? Oh, that's right. It's these tanks. Oh, there's a pole.
Boink.
Let's see. This is number 2. I don't think this is the one for slurry. Oh. Come on, turn around. I think it's over here. So this is building number 1. So I'm looking for tank number 1. Right here. There it is. Yeah, now we're talking. Alright, so Benji says hi to Gold Gaming, and then Ken says, yep, BDD needs more driving practice. Yeah, right, have an insurance bill lately. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure I'd be one of those kind of drivers that the insurance company would drop. If my driving record was based on how I drove in the game, they would drop me in real life.
And think about, like, say, imagine all the stop signs and stuff. You'd probably be warned by the police 6 times over for, like, running the stop sign for the 5 millionth time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I could only imagine. If I had to pay for the consequences I actually made in-game, it'd be nuts. It would be...
We all be the negative. We'd all be the negative.
I'd be coming on streams like, guys, I just got a call from my local PD, and they're hammering me for every infraction I ever made in Farming Simulator. I might need a little bit of a hand. Come on here and start begging for, like, they're wanting to send me to jail if I don't pay the multi-million-dollar fees. Because that's what it would eventually. That would what it would be, is like multi-millions of dollars. There's a...
And like they imagine it just like say, oh yeah, you got it. If you would do 1 mile over, we're gonna start deducting money from you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we are seeing numbers going up and we're seeing numbers going down. This is exactly what we ought to see.
Perfect.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Now, what's awesome too is, like you were saying earlier, we're going to have manure going in, so that's constantly going to be feeding this system here. But then we have the slurry over there, so we're going to have to bring slurry over every once in a while, but that's not a huge deal.
Nope.
So that's awesome. I'm so excited about that. And we're going to park our new bit of equipment right over here. And I think, yeah, so we have no more contracts. So this actually leads me to a perfect opportunity to go ahead and do the shout outs that I have to do. So first off, Jonah, I cannot remember if you're going to be able to speak during this section here. I don't know if I have it ported in there. So if you say something in the middle of this, I do apologize if nobody hears it. So just an FYI. So, want to give a shout out to all the BDD channel members, starting with the Tier 2s and Tier 3s. Specifically, starting with the Tier 3s, we have Rail Fanning Jonah. Again, Jonah, thank you so much for joining us here today. We have Will T Gaming and Piping Paul, and now we have Ken Adlam to add to this list. So, Ken, you will be added on here very, very soon. Those are now all the Tier 3 channel members. We also have, for Tier 2, we have Mark K, Wrench Monkey, No Longer Ken Adlam, Crazy Chris Sims, Luke Bernie King, Bradford Hambaugh, and Philippa Thompson. Thank you all so very, very much for being Tier 2 channel members. So, just a huge thank you to every single one of the channel members. I greatly appreciate it. It helps out the channel so very much. If you are interested in becoming a channel member here for BDD Gaming, go ahead and check out the link in the description below, or the join button there also below, or on the main channel page. There you can gain access to early, or you can gain, wow, let's try that again. You can get early access to edited content such as the Let's Play series and channel shorts. You also get custom badges, custom emojis. All that starts at 99 cents a month. That's all Tier 1 membership. Tier 2 gets everything that you just heard here before, and you also get just what you heard here, a shout out every single live stream, your name prominently placed here on screen. All that for $4.99 a month. And then, last but certainly not least, Tier 3 channel members get everything I mentioned before, plus they get a customized discount code to the merch store, as well as the opportunity to do exactly what Jonah is here doing tonight, what Will T Gaming has done in the past, be able to come on the live streams and be able to hang out and chat live on stream. It is... yeah, I'm having an absolute blast hanging out with Jonah here. I had a blast with Will T Gaming. All that for $9.99 a month. Again, thank every single one of you so very much. Greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate every single one of my members. Like I said, it helps the channel in its growth and its sustainability. I want to thank all my subscribers. Last I checked, we were over 1,900 subscribers. We're at like 1,929 at last check. Yeah, the channel is doing fantastic, and I just want to thank every single one of you out there. Also, want to give a shout out to the P.O. Box. If you're at all interested in sending me something, feel free to send it to P.O. Box 6136, Hudson, Florida 34674. The only thing I ask is that you include your YouTube handle name so I know who to thank after receiving something. I greatly appreciate anybody out there who is interested in doing so. And also, for one more day, it's actually gonna end here in a few minutes, so hurry if you're at all interested. Go ahead and check out the merch store and type in the discount code BDD July. There you'll get 10% off any of your purchases there at the merch store. So greatly appreciate anybody. And Jonah, now we can hear you again. The merch is
Yay.
Jonah approved.
Yes, indeed. Jonah approved.
It is also Will T Gaming approved. So again, go ahead and check out the merch store there. It is linked in the description below. And
It's also approved by my friend that I bought it for. She loves the shirt as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that she enjoyed it. So let's see. Let's get back to work here. We have got to fast forward time because we have no contracts. There's nothing for us to work on. So, and Jonah, thank you again for throwing in all those custom emojis. And I cannot wait for everybody to have access to the new ones here within the next few days. So let's go ahead and fast forward. I want to stand next to this because I want to see just how quickly this produces. Oh, wow. Look at that.
More money, more money, more money.
We figure between those two inputs, the manure and slurry, we're going to get 60,000 liters of solid fertilizer. That's incredible.
That's perfect.
So 60,000 liters of fertilizer out. Oh, hey, contracts, stop. Buttons, who's got the button?
Hit the stop button. Throw it in reverse.
Oh, wow, $40,000 contract for baling? What field is 17? Oh.
That's bellerific.
That's a big contract. We're not going to be able to do that in a lot of time that we have left. So we probably could do yeah, let's do a contract here.
And just a reminder, don't forget about Will's screenshots.
Oh, good call. I did almost forget about that. Thank you so very much. Will, you owe a big thank you to Jonah because I did forget. let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I'll get everything set up in the background, and we'll have these going in the foreground. Why is that not coming through? Oh, technical difficulties. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
We have a problem.
There we go. All right. Jonah, while this is going in the foreground, do you want to go ahead and describe what you're seeing here, and I will get everything all set up here in the background?
Sure. Looks like a very good there, Will. Very, very big fields. I love that a lot. The Colossus, good old Case going to go pick something up. Throwing out manure in the field there.
Yeah, I tell you what, Will T Gaming, he's got such a good eye. Such a really good eye for what it is that he's working on. Like, if you look at it, it's nothing like too overly complicated. The script. What? Oh, looks like Will made a mistake there.
Oh, that's fine. You gotta show off your mistakes. No
Hey.
one's perfect.
That's exactly it. But like I was saying, Will has that eye to where he can take something that's incredibly simple, what ought to be simple, but he's got a way to be able to angle the camera and kind of look at things to where there's so much being captured in the photo beyond like the immediate. Like this is a good example with the case and the manure right there. Is you got the immediate foreground of the work going on, but then in the background you got all the farm, you got the nice like lowering skyline and all that stuff. Like there's just so much stuff that's happening there that just makes the kind of photo itself just look so much more interesting than kind of the basic kind of thing.
Yep, and like Will looks like, I mean, he spends time, like I feel like he has 30 days, and like one of these days he's just like waiting for the time to progress just to get the perfect shots, because they're all just picture perfect.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's just, there's been so many times where I've looked at Will's screenshots, both here on streams and whatnot, and I've just been enamored with several of them. There was several way back when he was in the middle of fall, and there was just, some of them were just absolutely breathtaking. Like I said, I wish that I had that kind of an eye for what's kind of going on in the world. I guess you could call it like that artistic eye.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I said, I can kind of take things and kind of copy them. I can see something and then redo it. But I can't just imagine something and then create it kind of thing. It's extremely difficult for me to do that.
Like, I tried designing a map, but I was like, man, I can't even get past like the easy part. It's like this is too complicated for my mind. I feel like it's too hard. It's not like, and unlike other stuff, like say this does not just have a basic thing within the game that you have, you get to use. You have to download other software to make a map for it, so it's even more complicated than other stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too, is like people who do mods, who do the do maps and do all that kind of stuff there, like you have to actually sit there and know what it is that you're doing. Like it's not just something you can just pick up one day and it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a map and just slap it together kind of thing. It's like it requires skill. It requires not just the eye but the technical know-how to do it. So it's just one of those, like I said, I will fully and wholeheartedly admit, I know I couldn't do a map. I couldn't do a mod. I just don't have the skill to do it. It's one of those, hey, you need some numbers crunched? I'm your guy. I can analyze data and do all that stuff. I can't create. Like, I just know it. I know I couldn't. So, yeah, it's one of those. I genuinely do admire anybody, regardless of how I feel about the map. I admire anybody who picks up and at least tries.
That will teach us how to do it someday, maybe.
I tell you what. So, I know that Will is. Whoops. I'm trying to figure out where to go. There it is. I know Will wants to make his map, and he's committed to doing the map for FS25 kind of thing. So I really genuinely look forward to when that happens, because seeing the kind of artistic eye that Will has in just these basic screenshots really makes me hopeful that that will translate into a very pretty looking map, and a map that's also, as he's described, is based on real life and all that stuff. It's one of those that it leaves me excited to see what he has here and what is in store for us down the line, kind of thing. So fingers crossed, when FS25 comes out and he's able to do something like that. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see. Ken says $9.99 PM for USA citizens. I paid $16.99 PM in New Zealand dollars. Do the exchange rates. Gotcha. Yeah, that's yeah. When I'm spitting out the numbers and all that stuff, it's obviously based on where I'm at here in the States. So unfortunately, I'm I don't know what the exchange rates would be, but no, that's, again, Ken, greatly appreciate you being the newest tier 3 member. That's absolutely fantastic. And like I said, I'm gonna reach out to you either after the stream here tonight or potentially even tomorrow with your stuff there, and we'll figure out when we're able to get you on the stream, similar to like what we're doing here tonight. So let's see, and I think we're starting to kind of wind up on the photos. I think we are actually repeating, so let's go ahead and cut those out. Will T Gaming, thank you so much for sending in all those screenshots. They look absolutely amazing, and we are down here at the field that need to be worked on, and we're using our fertilizer, so really happy about that. We have a full tank of fertilizer, and what's really awesome, what I'm really looking forward to, is to seeing how much we're actually going to make in profit now, because again, I didn't have to buy the fertilizer. I'm selling whatever fertilizer we have here with the end of the contract, so we can make a pretty decent profit. So I was sitting there earlier, well, how am I going to sell all this money, or sell all this fertilizer and stuff? This is how we're going to sell it.
Yeah, and to Will, I say your screenshots on a scale to 1 to 10, it's a 12.
I agree. No lies detected. So
it goes off the chart.
yes. Yep. So Will, quit beating yourself up there, bud. Quit selling yourself short. And like I said, I look forward personally to seeing what kind of map you have to design there in New York. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. So let's see. It looks like I'm all caught up with the chat. Again, I want to thank every single one of you who came out here tonight, who's hung out with us, who's I had an absolute blast here tonight. We're getting ready to kind of wind things down here. It's almost midnight here on the east coast of the United States. So going to be starting to slowly wind things down. We're going to finish out this contract and kind of go from there. But again, I want to thank Jonas so much for coming on here tonight, hanging out with us, and yeah, and hope you had as much fun as I did doing this.
Yeah, and I'm already looking forward to the next time we get to do this. Like I'm enjoying this a lot.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome, and I'm really glad. So yeah, we're just like I said, we got Ken to fold into this. So Ken, like I said, we're gonna fold you into doing one of the live streams here. We also have Pipe and Paul. I'm not 100% certain about how we're going to work it out with Paul there because he's over in England. So right now it's probably about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning his time. So it's going to be very, very hard to work him into the fold here on the channel, but maybe I'll be able to figure out a way to be able to do some either afternoon or morning stream to be able to allow him to do kind of the same thing. So I'm trying to work out something for those of us who are kind of in funky time zones. Not necessarily funky, that's probably the wrong word, but that are in a time zone that is not conducive for the perk that they're purchasing. So trying to figure out something that we can do as a kind of substitute. So let's finish off this field here.
And since you made your own fertilizer, no more having to buy it for this, and it means more money, more money, more money.
Yeah, and that's it. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of payout that we get for this contract, because right now we're supposed to get, look at that, $12,600 for this particular contract, but when everything's said and done, I'm probably going to get, I don't know, maybe 10 to 13 grand in addition to the contract. So what's going to be a, even after doing the leasing, maybe a $10,000 contract plus another $10,000 to $12,000. We'll say at the maximum maybe a $22,000 payout when everything's said and done.
That's good. That's more money in your virtual pocket. Man, if only we can have some of the money we have in this game in real life.
Oh man, that'd be incredible. Let's see. Ken says, "Isn't Will making a map for FS25? Can't wait to see that." Yes. So, as far as I'm aware, Ken, Will is making a map for FS25. He was trying to get it for FS22, but things just didn't work out in real life to allow him to be able to do that. So, as far as I'm aware, he said that he's going to really try to get it for FS25. And like I said, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Seeing all of his screenshots, everything that he sends us here for the channel, like, he's got that eye. He's got the artistic eye to be able to do it. So I'm genuinely hopeful that when it happens, and again, I'm a sucker for maps that are based off of real life. And he said that he's going to base it off of his local area there in New York. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And as far as I know, he's gotten all the permissions from a bunch of different other map makers. He had a lot of help from other map makers to kind of learn how to do things. So it's one of those that, as long as Will puts in the effort, then yeah, I think that we could all have something very special to play on. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has in store for us. So fingers crossed that that everything kind of works out for us in the end, and we'll kind of go from there. So like I said, Will, I believe in you. I believe in your skills. Like I said, and you got that eye, bud. You absolutely got that eye.
Believe in you too, Will. I believe in you.
I don't know why, but when you said that, have you ever seen the Blue Collar Comedy Tour?
No.
So, it's a comedy show with Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, Bill Engvall, and Larry the Cable Guy. It's those 4 comedians. And
Then yeah, I know those 4 comedians really well.
yeah, well, they did the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, which was like their kind of stand-up all together. And they did like 3 of them.
Yes, I have. Now that you re-say it, I have seen that.
Okay, so they did 3 separate Blue Collar Comedy Tours. Then they were like Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Blue Collar Rides Again, and there's a 3rd one. I can't remember the name of it. Well, one of the skits that they do, or one of the kind of things that they do is, I believe it's Jeff Foxworthy's "I Believe," and then they
Yep.
say something. I don't know why, but that just came rocketing to my brain.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know a lot of them.
Oh my goodness, and they are hilarious.
They are. Some of them cannot be said on stream.
No, no, definitely some of them cannot, but they are still hilarious nonetheless. But no, it's just one of those that I just think they're absolutely hilarious, and it's just kind of an offshoot. The "I Believe" is just an offshoot of "You Might Be a Redneck."
Yep.
So we are so close with this contract, 92%. We're getting there. We're getting there, and we're gonna see what kind of payout we get. So you figure we're gonna have over 8,000 liters when this is all said and done.
And I say, I think it would be nice, if you could get a bonus for doing the whole field. Like, say, even if it's only like 5-10%, like just a bonus since, say, you did more than what you were required to do. I think that would be a good thing to add.
That would be pretty slick. That would absolutely be pretty nice. And have it kind of scalable based on what it is that you're doing. So if you're doing like a plowing contract, yeah, it's 10% or whatever, but it's scaled based on, the amount of additional effort that you had to do in order to complete the contract. So, I mean, even you can even do it something like instead of doing scalable, because basically you have to do I think it's like 90% of the contract to get the thing to complete. But let's say if you get it to 91, then you get that kind of bonus buffer, and you get like a 1% bonus. You get a 92, a 2% bonus, and up to 10%. I think that'd be pretty slick.
I think that would be pretty fair. You don't quite have to do the whole thing, but say on the way back, if you still have a little bit just on your way there, just keep it going. You get a little bit extra for just doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be absolutely tops right there. Now check that out. Holy smokes. We just made $12,600 for the contract. We paid almost $2,000 for the leasing, but $12,626. We basically doubled the contract for a final payout of over 23 grand. That is fantastic. Bam. That's the number, and that's the kind of profit I like to see when I normally do my contracts. So like I said, I normally just buy the oops, not that. I normally buy this. Like from this pack here. It's $1,000 per pallet, and it's 5,000 liter pallets. So you get that kind of, $2,000, and you get 10,000 liters of fertilizer. And you get a huge profit out of every single one of these contracts. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's see. And look at that. We still have almost 5,000 liters of fertilizer. And we'll just keep on chugging along. But it is almost midnight. Again, I want to thank Jonah so very much for coming out here tonight, hanging out with us, and I had an absolute ball. Jonah, again, I hope you had the same. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out there for your channels and any social medias you wanted to shout out there.
I think yet again, go look up Railfin and Jonah if you're into trains and stuff like that, or look me up on Facebook/Messenger. It's Jonah Elliott.
Excellent. Jonah, thank you again so very much. I want to thank everybody who stopped out here tonight, hung out with us. Hope everybody enjoyed it here tonight. We're going to definitely get you back on here at some point there real soon there, Jonah. Ken, same with you. Will, same with you. Going to get everybody a turn on the channel here. I had an absolute ball. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. That shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.
Stay happy, everyone.
100%. All right, Jonah, stick around there for just a second, and I'm going to do the sign off, and we'll be good to go.